in a completely different role altogether. He's gone from duelist to sentinel now to the brimstone.
Wow.
So Sturban actually flexing onto the breach here for Haven. Sasuke back on the Sova. Magoo, again, no real surprises there on the jet. But an interesting point was made. Obviously, the support around Magoo on split, not really a factor on Ascent. So obviously Haven, can be a bit of a quicker map in terms of, how fast teams do like to hit sites or look for kind of that bloodbath around garage / mid outside B. Going to be interesting to see here if Futbolist kind of, revert back to what Magoo was able to do on split and kind of be in a position to enable him.
Okay. I think we've got a couple of things to look out for. Pistol rounds going to be starting things off. And my eyes go towards, okay, what version of Sasuke do we get? What version of Magoo do we get? There's a couple of different looks that we've seen so far, but it's yet to come. And of course, NIP, night and day from map 1 to map 2, of course.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
So already mid-control gone at NIP. No subtlety, no quietness to this. Smoke on the left, face on the right, and in we go. There's going to be the nade going to come out. The pain shell's going to just force them away. A little bit of chip damage too. Little bit, actually quite a lot. Sturban going to be a little flustered after the back of that. And a quick plant to follow. I'm not sure if they're going to be able to take him off this.
Planted.
No, absolutely not. Spike is down.
Yeah, Kriya falls for it. Again, just committing that. His team, you can see how far he's backed up. He was just out on an island there to get the spike down. Magoo will find existence on the way in. And here comes the pinch, actually, from NIP. Two members pushing through. JD over in mid.
Yeah, Mark was just the absolute spoiler to that little flank they were trying to do. Now, JD was kind of the last line of defense, maybe just to swing on the bomb, but they were hoping to split around kind of, garage, work through, kind of play through by the window, but Mark was just holding that so competently. Really well done. I'm beyond happy to see that. Mark's not been, I wouldn't say like a highlight player when you have the likes of Magoo or Sasuke or, even Sturban having a couple of moments, Moj as well, but Mark worth his weight in gold there. Really nice play, kind of consistently held that push just in case, maybe aware of these approaches that they're seeing.
Yeah, really good to see. And one thing I always like to see on Haven is a team showing they're not afraid to go towards B. And again, a lot of teams defending Haven, they default to kind of leaving B open. We'll play retake there. Again, LRP showing maybe just, some foundations of conditioning, so to say. I always like to see that on Haven. Just make sure that it's a factor. It's something for the defenders to worry about that, one round we might just decide to all out push B. Be ready for it.
I also want to look at NIP and see that we've seen the good side in map 2, right? We saw how good Ascent was for them, but we don't know the consistency yet either. That's one thing, because they're still working under a bit of a new roster, new IGL. This is a big change up in that manner. And of course, they've been working in that little bit of a down season from the end to now, but it won't always look like Ascent did. And it may not always look like Split did, but we don't know yet where the balance lays. Is this going to be another Ascent, or is it going to be a Split for them? How confident are they? How comfortable on the attacking side are they? We simply don't know how well they kind of stack up just yet. This round, considering I think they got almost, actually didn't get a single kill, if I'm not mistaken. It didn't look like they did. Maybe I'm incorrect on that, but didn't do much damage, at least on the first. The buy here is going to be incredibly weak. Just upgraded pistol, still looking for that
30
plant,
seconds
which
left.
could be coming in. Still one on the side. Prim's going to be just locking it down. That's Mark again.
The flash
Great work
is so
from Mark.
good.
Yeah, the combination coming out right now is excellent. Yes, they got a couple of kills traded back in. Chihuahua makes things interesting now. Suddenly, a 2v2. The HP is dire, though, for the ninjas. Down to just one. Ray's left. Ray's dead. Moj there. NIP did a good bit of damage, got the spike down, but couldn't convert more than that. But you know what? Not a bad little post up for round 2.
Well, not at all. And again, not afraid to kind of take that brawl on site on both sides. Actually, it was impressive for NIP to bring it down to a 2v2, doing a lot of damage in terms of the economy. Looks like Futbolist considering, maybe just trying to bonus this one out. They don't want to invest too much up. Again, this is standard stuff, really. You don't want to be left in the next round here after NIP are able to buy back into this with nothing on the board. So that's why we do see the Sheriffs. But a quick hit here. NIP rhymes straight over towards the sewers position. Nobody on site for Futbolist. Moj all the way over towards A-Link, but he does have that utility invested here. And you can see the utility being invested for Futbolist means that they can 3-man push C long to try and convert this bonus round.
I wonder if Cypher's aware. Yeah, it looks like that little alarm bell's been ringing. And Sasuke, great trade there. Chihuahua I thought would have been good for 2, but actually not the case. Sasuke with an excellent trade coming back in. JD trying to clear out with the utility. While all this happens, though, they are still building towards that A site. Now, it is a 4v4, and it looks like it will be a retake all day long, even with the time dwindling a little. Now on this take, they're still being meticulous NIP on the clears here. The amount of times you'll see players tucked in on that A short push, or, you know, just being nuisances. But for now, it is somewhat clear. Obviously, they don't know that. We do. And site take should commence. The retake is what I'm going to be looking at.
Let's see now. Stack it up again. 4v4, so definitely doable on both sides, even with the equipment at their disposal.
30 seconds left.
To wait and see how they approach this, but got to assume, just look at a Rhyme there, no utility left on his part. How much the rest of NIP are able to save to hold on to this.
I just also think that Futbolists don't have a great deal to play with. Of course, they're down to a couple of pistols here and there. You can see what's the plan is, at least for now, isolating one, but Rhyme is more than up to the challenge. Sasuke and Magoo drop down, feed into the machine. Rhyme, perfect play again. Barely broke a sweat and really nice HP left. 69.
Nice.
Nice. We do at least have the goodbye coming up for Futbolists, though we do see that up back in play, so things could look different now.
It is, and again, it's weird to see a team do that, but just to make you guys obviously aware that they don't understand, obviously the economy changes here, and it's very standard procedure now for teams to do that. They're trying to look aggressive to convert those bonus weapons. Again, no shame at all in what Futbolists tried to do there. And at the end, you know, in terms of retake, they just want to damage the economy. That's all it is. It's damage control there on that round for Futbolists. So this is the first real full buy on both sides. You see a heavy lean from NIP over towards C-Long. And actually, Mark posted up inside this smoke here. Oh,
barrel
did he see the barrel? I don't think he did.
He should have done. Well, now he's going to know there's problems coming his way already. One's going to fly in. The moves are slick as ever. Sets up JD so well, and Mark's dead and buried. That's a rough way to start it off. The positioning. Rhyme is running rings around them right now. Yes, Moj just found Chihuahua, but that was the lurk. That was the flank. That was going to be the kind of nail in the coffin. Not going to happen. Rhyme once more. The barrels giving away so much. Another one. But the trades. They just found 2 off the back of that. JD just must have lined up with Rhyme. That's a problem. This is only a 2v2. It never should have been. Maybe a 3v2 at worst. But suddenly, existence, that experience reigns supreme.
Holds the line.
Shuts it down. No play back in.
And again, Mark unfortunately forced to shoot at the first member of NIP that showed presence, which was Rhyme, and the double satchel. I mean, it's always so difficult to pick that raise out of the air. And at that point, as soon as he shoots, I mean, he's shown his hand. The gig's up. He has to commit to something there. So the timing absolutely perfect there from NIP to swing out of that smoke at the same time. Again, I don't actually think he saw the barrel. I mean, if he saw the barrel, he could have committed to getting that first kill, but really, really unfortunate for him there that it's Rhyme that comes through first.
And that's going to be a bit of a money problem building for Futbolists here. As you can see, the Sheriff's going to come out to play. Maybe use Jet's ultimate to try and at least levy some sort of advantageous piece from the back of it. Gets an isolated fight, wins the fight. That's a bit of an issue. Be able to pick that up for free. The default's going to cost them a little bit here. Maybe expecting aggression, but the shot comes in, and we know Magu's dangerous when he gets going. But for now, it means like a quick response is on the cards. Back towards A we go.
Actually, I mean, one of the factors you can always rely on in some of these eco rounds, the low buy rounds, if Jet does have ultimate, Magoo's the sort of player we've already seen that can make moves with that ultimate. Right now, Spike, a little bit hesitant, waiting out those shock darts. Don't want to get bombed off of default there. Sasuke up in heaven does have his recon here as well, so synchronized push potentially, but look where Rhyme's managed to get. Sturban turns on him, and the lurk is eliminated.
Nowhere to run!
He's made an absolute meal of it. He's going to be kicking himself, so you know that Existence wants to get proactive. He wants to try and do some damage, buy some time, and he's done even more. Gets the kill towards one. JD now set up for success. This is a brilliant crossfire. And NIP just turning the screws. Futbolists, they're on a weaker buy, but they tried to suffer through that. That flank fell to pieces, but the ninjas dig their heels in, and even after that great start, NIP do make their way out of the round as the winners.
Good ultimate as well. JD tucked all the way in long there. As soon as that Hunter's Fury goes down, he knows that he's going to create some chaos in A-Link. Existence perfect with the peak all the way through. A really, really good post-plant setup there. And again, a couple of the players from NIP low HP, so I'm absolutely fine with the ultimate being invested there to secure that round. You can see now a little bit of bankroll in favor of NIP. 2 players of Futbolist down to 0. A couple of others, only 1 on 4 digits, to be honest.
And again, we have to keep an eye on the starting foray between these two. What's the approach? What's the look? It looks like sending Kriya first this time. Magoo up for the fight, gets a peek, gets, I think, information on at least 2 there.
Yeah.
Maybe not seen everything, but more than enough to call for support towards B.
Again here, like I said, I actually like this. I always like seeing a team kind of show some presence towards B because it's so often left up for retake by defenders. It's that conditioning factor that I always love to see from teams. Yeah. You can see now 2 members outside garage, 1 on B site, Magoo over towards A-Link now trying to back up Mod. So it's already done the work now because NIP leaning heavily back over towards A.
Yeah, pulled those rotations away just perfect. Wait, that Omen's got the spike. I'm a little worried. Oh, I thought it was up top. It's in towards Hell. That's okay. Kriya's on safe. Gonna be able to get that spike planted. Nice little post-pump position. Does he get the spike down in time? Yes, just about. He's been getting away with murder, Kriya. The first round didn't work out so well, but now Rhyme's gonna pick up the position. Noted, however.
Yeah, actually, look at this. The investment, the ultimates comes through as well. Rhyme's stuck now in Hell. 4-man swing comes through from Futbolist, and Rhyme did get tanked by the Hunter's Fury as well. Magoo finds one, Mod finds a second now. JD stuck behind that molly on short. There's 2 members left standing now for NIP. Sturban finds another. Sasky closes that one out. A clinical retake there, even though NIP threw down a lot of utility their way. They hold the line, and I mean, don't lose anybody on the way in. It's notoriously difficult to get a way back in clean on A site. Futbol is showing how it's capable.
Yeah, plenty of utility committed towards it, but you saw how incredibly viable it was once they got all that in the right place. Isolating a few, denying Kriya's position. You saw a little bit of a sneaky spot kind of re-garnered by Rhyme, but he was unable to make much of it once he got noted. Then all of that breach work coming through, and we do have a tactical coming out for NIP, and I think it's a perfect time to call it 3-3. You've kind of got a bit of the lay of the land now. You've got a good idea of what both teams are doing and how they maybe want to approach this. For me, this is an excellent display of what I like to see from the likes of Existence, is calling tactical timeouts, working through this, trying to get those good answers. To me, it's always like a game of chess, right? These sort of games. And obviously, there's always that firepower. There's always the star power.
Yeah.
But it's, okay, what approach works against what we're having? And we saw it perfectly on Ascent that NIP can have those answers, but we don't know how deep that goes yet.
No, absolutely. And I mean, we touched on this at First Strike. A couple of these more experienced names, again, Existence is one that's going to stand out. But just saying, what have we learned? You know, what have we seen in the first couple of rounds now that we can act upon? Let's put a plan together. Is there a hole in the defense? What can we, you know, kind of abuse or kind of expose on the side of Futbolists? So I'd love to see it as well, whether or not we see a complete switch up. Again, towards the end of Ascent, especially on attack for NIP, we saw how capable they were of switching things up, going faster, finding a different pace, and how effective it was for them.
Okay, Kriya, this is certainly different. Kriya's kind of been the tip of the spear somewhat for NIP. Sometimes sticks the landing, sometimes doesn't, but proactive is the name of the game, and as is Magoo, again, information garnered. He did this well towards middle in those previous, but you're already seeing Kriya trying to find this challenge, and you're going to see Sova committing a little bit of the Owl drone down towards A-Long to clear, then takes the control. So all of that early kind of battle for kind of A-Long control has now been kind of dwindled. You can see Rhyme well aware that there's going to be a bit of a fight coming through, so by the time he makes noise, he has to be ready to commit. Nade towards the left, clear towards the right. He's got to commit on this one. He does well. It's Chihuahua to full foul, and actually it's Moj. What a play from the man. Sits in well, digs in deep, still stands and runs so low, but still lands a shot on 5 HP. There is deadliness in all of these players, even with the chips being so far down. Futbolists can't get back in yet. They have the player advantage, and they want to try and use it.
Again, the flash is coming through here. Existence just stuck. No decision really is the right one. And there you go. Sasky will finally clean Rhyme up, but again, a nice hit Well countered by Modge and Mark holding down garage control there. Modge actually already putting up some numbers. Again, you don't usually look towards the Cypher to be the one leading the charge, but he's been NIP playing into him a little bit. I will say a lot of presence shown towards C site, and I mean he's holding down. He's holding down.
The thing for me is as well, when I see someone on a Cypher, I look to them to be the kind of, you know, safe pair of hands, the rock of the team. Exactly. They may get, you know, at most, I'll take a 2, right? I'll take 2 kills. That's excellent, but you get the information. He's been doing more than that, which is insane to me. For now, we'll see if he continue it. If he does, great work. But beyond that, we look towards what NIP do to create space, and Korea are going to at least create a chance. Magu going to go this time. First time we've seen that fight go this way.
Yeah. And that was Magoo kind of just strolling down mid to look for something. Does lose the Vandal there as well. And you can already see NIP. I mean, Korea with the Bulldog, Ryan with the Spectre. They're going to want to try and retrieve that. See now the smoke goes down over B for them to come and take it. And again, that's a big factor now. NIP, number advantage. Now they have the Bulldog and the Vandal to work with. And actually, Futbolist trying to respond onto that to shut it down. 33 HP. The pinch comes through. Sasky will pick up Rhyme. Now they have mid control. NIP forced back over towards A site, but this Cypher utility here again, going to give all the information back over to Futbolist to recover.
That re-aggress towards middle, they're so confident in it, and Chihuahua's in all kinds of trouble. Does manage to garner at least the positioning towards Hell. The plant should be toyed with. You can see JD trying to go for that.
Left.
I'm not sure if anyone can stop it right now. Not the case. Quick little flick out from Sasuke, though, does find existence as JD now stuck towards the site in all kinds of trouble. He's got players in front, behind, left, right, center. Nowhere to run, nowhere to hide. Location revealed. It's all being thrown in. They are not leaving anything to chance. These boys are playing perfect. Good retake again from Futbolist.
Yeah, really, really good stuff. The timing on the fault line there, absolutely fantastic. Again, Sturban on that long flank down all the way, cleans up the deeper member of NIP and sends the fault line through for his teammates as well. So really, really good pinch on the retake. Again, 5-3 scoreline here. Futbolist just edging away 3 rounds in succession. You see, actually, NIP, when they did go back to the drawing board, whether or not they're able to produce anything from here. Because looking at it now, I mean, Existence, Sheriff in hand, Korea, the Sheriff light armor. And actually, not a lot of credits elsewhere in terms of the economy. Maybe Korea saving up for that operator.
Now, deeper into this, 5-3 still close enough that I'll leave it up there. But I really want us to talk about what worked for NIP before, maybe on their attack, and maybe what's falling slightly short here, I feel. At least we saw it once come out quite nicely on Ascent. Maybe not even that much, I guess, considering how they started. But beyond that, we do see that up in play. Now, what this means is Magu can now post up towards long. Should at least get a clean fight on one and can back away from the fight for free, being that jet. Now, Paranoia is going to start to build. Not from Omen, but the fact that this cage has now kind of denied the vision that could have allowed players to cross through. But going to stick his ground, feels confident enough. They've clearly got information that that's going to be a fake or a set piece, or they're just simply comfortable enough in that fact. And it looks like, once again, NIP are leaning towards B.
This is D. Let's see, Modge. Again, just a bait from Ryan. The double satchel in. First player tries to pick him off, and yeah, no damage done, actually. Spike goes down straight away. 2 members isolated over towards A site here. Rhyme looking to Magoo. All the way through the smoke there. Korea good for the trade, though. Magoo now does switch over to the Vandal. Gets Korea down to 5 HP, but I don't think Magoo's going to expect him to reposition here.
That's filthy, but there's still problems on the, I guess, western front. Yeah, Korea really well played that dirty off angle, and JD's aim is just on point. This is the thing. We know that NIP are dangerous once they stick in towards those landings. Those retakes coming out from Futbolists were excellent, though. So, I mean, for me, this is just, okay, do we get a little bit of spark from the NIP side where it all lines up for them? Or I feel almost Futbolists are more consistent in how they're approaching, which I'm quite surprised about. Map 1 was super explosive and very hard to repeat, but they've managed to make it almost their style.
Well, it's interesting, really, to look at the comparison. NIP looked fantastic in some of these quick hits. Some of these, you know, really fast setups, fast entries, especially on map 2. I mean, it was Futbolists that were able to demonstrate it better on map 1, but now it's this kind of war of attrition. We'll have to see if NIP can kind of last all the way through this half. Again, 4 rounds on attack already. No complaints about that already. Hunter's Fury gets invested over. Mark's got to be careful not to lose his life here, give entry away on C site, but NIP with a completely different approach again this time around. I'm intrigued to see actually if they have a different setup for defense, or a different ethos, I guess, really, for defense.
Yeah, you can see the utility being committed. Last time they kind of feigned towards a fair amount and then went back towards that B hit, which worked quite well for them, but whether or not they can do that again, we'll have to wait and see. At this point, you're going to see once again that similar approach towards A long. However, this time the commitment behind it. And it hasn't been the plants that have been the harder thing for NIP. It's been maintaining during those retakes.
Indeed, Korea. Look for the TP into hell once again. And again, not having a member on site here, they don't lose anybody for this. The fact that Modge is playing all the way up in heaven, sort of playing into that. Hunter's Fury going to go down towards default. I don't think he's actually got a tag on that just yet, so no damage coming out from the ultimate. Korea tries to TP back across. Again, I won't say it. Omen TP hitbox.
Planted.
And here comes the retake from Futbolist.
I like that kind of fake out, almost making that utility happen early. Korea worth his weight in gold so far. Good trades, but it's going to be existence to hold the line. Keep Sasuke back this time. And I like the work from NIP. Faking out the plant a little, trying to cost that utility that was so deadly on those retakes before. And by the time the spike went in, by the time the retake happened, he didn't have anywhere as near as much to deny all those angles that worked out this time for NIP.
Again, tap the spike. They know the Hunter's Fury is going to come through. Again, really, really good stuff
right there
on the A site here. I mean, they've looked best on this in terms of taking the site. C hasn't really worked out for them. B, a couple of times, you know, they squeezed, obviously, the plant out on the pistol, and then the second hit was very successful there. But now the response from Futbolists now is the first time they're exploring any sort of presence down long. So maybe Futbolist trying to counteract that aggression. Magoo jumps up, finds existence in mid with the Blade Storm. Now he's got to play his life. He's got to stay alive here.
Yeah, let's see what he does with this, though. I want to see what NIP do. They've lost the kind of leading voice, but still plenty of approach to be had.
Oh, no.
Korea. Nice. Really nice work from Korea. Magoo's gone. That's got to be B. Now, at least with a plant available. I don't know if anyone's got utility to stop it. Futbolist does have the ultimate available. There it goes. Going to be at least denying not much. The spike's already down.
A little late.
Yeah.
A little late on that one.
I'm not sure if I love that. Sasuke with a good trade, though, but now Rhyme's going to have to try and play the timing so well. You can see the flank coming in. Red like a book. Rhyme's on it today as Sasuke now put into a dire scenario. And oh, yeah, you can see it all crumbling down. Not going to happen.
Yeah, interesting use there. The orbital strike, again, either use it to cancel the plant or go for that kill. You know, after halfway through the plant comes down, you know, you can almost guarantee that kill. But, I mean, the secondary use of it really is once the spike goes down, you know that they're going to try and hop back out to mid. So placing it in a way that it forces them into an awkward angle out into the open or something like that on site. But not really achieving either from the orbital strike there. So, I mean, at that point, don't use it to cancel the plant. Use it in the retake.
Yeah, it's one of the two, right? You can't. That's what happens.
Yeah,
when
you can't have best of both
between.
worlds.
Exactly. The double swing towards C long there. You can see almost 3 players facing that. I think Sova was behind the Omen and the Raze that we saw. Rhyme a little further ahead, posted up. Now I wonder if they get lulled into any sense of security here. A little bit, but oh wait, whoa! Mark just got caught off guard. I thought he'd already noted that Rhyme was ahead of that smoke. Maybe unawares, and there's the response. Magu's going to push out down towards A long, but gets caught again. Yeah, NIP finding picks on both sides of the map now.
Just perfectly set up for that. Heavy presence shown on one side. Magoo looks out on the other side, and Korea just perfectly positioned to clean up that kill, just removing that threat.
Chihuahua trying to punish any sloppy rotations. It does mean that Sasuke gets past because you can't actively peek it the whole time, but we'll be holding mid here. They've conditioned them to have to worry about this late in the game B hit that's been coming out. It is going to be an A take, but it's quite late in the day. 30 seconds, things could go wrong.
30 seconds
Only one
left.
ultimate available this time for Futbolist, so it won't be anything to deny the plant at least.
I won't here, and again, Futbolist only really with the neural theft. Sturban, one flash left. NIP have the rolling thunder. This is not looking good right now. The wallbang comes through. And Mod stuck over at the entry of B, worried about that lurk from Chihuahua. So, all but done here, unless Mod shows us some miracles, I'll be honest. Doesn't even find the first. JD shuts that one down. A 7-5 half for NIP. Really, really impressed with what I've seen them on the attacking half here. And I mean, if it sends anything to go by, Haven is one where we know those defensive executes, that aggression can go. I mean, it can spiral out of control so quickly if it goes unchecked.
But would they do it? I don't know.
I want to see it look great on a set. I want to see them do it.
Same. I mean, there is the risk that if, let's say, Futbolist come into this with that, like, we go all in, we just, you know, hammer a site with, they play, like, not necessarily one-dimensional, but very clear-cut approaches to their attack. I think defensive side aggression can be hard to handle or kind of make work against that, because you could always be late and out of position and not in favorable fights. But I will always be a fan of well-placed defensive side aggression. I think it's one of the best things in the game if done well.
Again, the other problem being, and I mean, G2 for me is the one I always go back to, is how effective they were on Haven at showing what you can do if you take a little bit of control, a little bit of territory on defense. The problem is on Haven, it's a very unforgiving map. If you give anything away too early in the round, again, the mind games, the baiting out, the fakes, you know, rotation is such a huge factor here for the defensive side on Haven that it can become a bit sloppy if you kind of play into that game.
Okay, well, let's have a little look how this starts. Pistol could be quite important. If NIP win it, you'd imagine maybe 9 could be on the board. If Futbolist get it, right back all even, I feel. For now, though, early information trying to be garnered, nothing too much found. But look at this stack towards Garage there. That's a 3-play stack towards Garage waiting to receive. Sova was kind of tasked with keeping much into control, as Sasuke will clear short towards A. That's going to be information received. And JD's playing very deep, so that kind of indicates happy to give up the site, but wants to control some portions. And again, this could be information now. Ooh, does a bit of damage off the back of it too. Not bad. See if anyone else wants to approach. Kriya, the first to consider. And surely they've got to know now the site hit's going to be coming in. This has to be a retake.
Yeah, as you can see how heavy they were over towards Garrett and C. JE straight up into heaven. Stop any madness, I guess, from Magoo getting up there. Again, comes down now. Rhyme all the way back through towards A Garden now. He has his paint shells still. Got to be careful of Mod. He's holding on to sewers right now. And as I say that, he'll lose his head for it. Korea now. Paranoia goes through. Here comes the retake from NIP.
Yeah, getting Magoo out of this corner is going to be a problem. And you can see as to why. Takes contact on one, gets another. Magoo is buying time.
So clean.
And buying them around. Beautiful work from Futbolist there. Managing to, I guess in a weird way, it was a gamble from NIP. But Futbolist played that very well in that post plan. That to me was more impressive.
Yeah. Yeah, again, and you know, A site's one of those ones where the crossfires become so crucial. If you have that time to set up, get the spike down comfortably, you can still do it whilst, you know, the smokes are down covering over defensive spawn and heaven. As soon as you get into that crossfire on hell and graffiti, it becomes so difficult, even with the paranoia. I mean, if you've still got utility there, you just counter that. The paranoia comes through. The breach flash buys so much time there, they can't capitalize on it.
You're right. And it looks like a little bit more of a, I don't want to say aggressive stance. It's not necessarily aggressive. It's a bit of a lean. See players posted up towards long. Bit of a trade comes out. And it's a 2-for-1 right now. NIP not going to be in the best position here.
And trades back and forth, actually 2-for-1 in favor of Futbolist. So they find themselves in a 4v3 now, swinging back over towards C, because that's where they found both of those kills. Rhyme, Bucky in hand in the garage, but hey, I'm a Bucky fan.
Bucky's great, dude.
Big Bucker.
And there you go, you get at least one for it. Okay, that's the fun you get to have. Outside of that, though, Spike will plant. It is a 3v2. The other two trying to play this back in. One isolated towards the defensive side spawn, the other kind of coming up C long. The Sheriff, you need a clean kill here. This would have to be untradeable, which is going to be hard. Look at these post plants, but he gets it. Checks the corner. Did he? He gave it a look. He definitely considered. Oh, this is unreal from JD. He's made this round possible, but now Existence has to go forward. Just a classic, no armor, nothing left to play with. The clock now ticking. He has to win this fight, and the timing is everything, and he can't make it work. Sasuke holds on for dear life as that almost fell to pieces.
A lot of damage done, though. A lot of damage done. And again, we talk about that bonus round now. With one person surviving, it's not really a factor there. I mean, look at the money right now. This buy back in from Futbolist, expecting the operator to come onto Magoo potentially. Unless he goes with the rifle. We know that on split, he did like to flex onto that operator. There you go, forces it up with the light armor.
All right, 7-7. We're back all even. Futbolist showing resilience here. NIP on the receiving end of touch, but the economy, of course, evaded them there. And now we see the aggression coming out, at least somewhat. Now, this will have to cause Utility to be committed towards A-Long to take this back. Just the fact that Existence is showing pressure. If you're a CS fan, imagine Banana on Inferno. Very similar scenes to be seen, and I'm sure he'll see it that way as well, knowing that now they have to fight back and commit all that utility to re-clear A-Long.
Yeah, nobody actually from Futbolist flexing out anywhere else on the map, so you see now Existence looking to re-aggress back into lobby here, but nothing really being given up, to be honest with you. Now there's smoke. Oh my god,
this could be
he's tucked in this corner. If they don't clear, this is going to be disgusting. They do actually finds the first, but a 2-for-1 trade in favor of NIP. Sturban the only one to find. One Modge now does respond. Magoo finds himself all the way up onto site, actually, but JD finds him.
Yeah, maybe trying to play off that momentum and catch the timing just right. However, we have to look across the map now. What's left? Kriya becomes a pivotal piece. His patience is going to be everything, excuse me. Does he hear, what I want to say was, does he hear anything beside him? If they made a sound cue, way easier. They don't.
Oh my God.
Keep it super quiet. But look at the time. They've only got like 10 seconds. They've got to start moving. If they wanted that, they can't. You're going to see at least the plant coming in. 8 seconds. He was just considering getting off the spike plant and just a couple of seconds away from it. But Kriya's positioning is huge. They've been funneled. The position is noted. They know that site's clear now. They can aggress on and clear as they go. Sasuke is going to have to do some big damage. Can't achieve it this time. Rhyme is right there. And now, just Moj left alive. A 1v3 is a tall task.
Yeah, crucial there as well. Sasuke gets another kill. He would have had done to Fury up, and he could have backed all the way onto A site. So that's why he was being a little bit aggressive. Sorry, just looking for that early peak there. And unfortunately, Mod's down to very, very low HP. No utility down on site. Obviously, didn't want to give away any sound cues, as you said. Couldn't put a cam down. No information gathered on that. That's why he was looking for that pick. So unfortunate there, but I mean, Spike Plant comes through. Little bit of a financial bonus for that, but Futbolist back down to pistols and light armor now.
So this is a swing. Once we got those bigger buy rounds out, we're going to see NIP at least stabilize for now. A bit of damage done over towards A-Long, but beyond that, we're going to have to see what else can come from this. Moj looking for an opportunity to present itself, but there we go. Spots out one, but Kriya just showing the movement off a touch. But we still have another player there to support. But keep in mind, Futbolists don't have, obviously, the best buy here. So, going to be a little bit trickier. Mark looking for any opportunities to be given. And I feel as though they're not going to get much.
No. No, I expect NIP to just hold on to this one with everything they've got. Don't want to give an opportunity away. Take a scrappy 1v1 anywhere. As I say, that Trower swings out. Again, just baited a little bit by the player at the front of B. Kriya now himself a couple of enemies to deal with. Let's find the first time Magoo falls. Futbolists now find themselves in a 3v5 on this eco round. And they can't find a way into C-side.
Player standing.
No. And for NIP, this has to be kept clean. This has to be one of those that really can't be made dangerous.
30 seconds left. Flawless.
Feel as though we might be out of sync there, because I saw nothing interesting when you made that noise.
I was just about that's just a noise I make.
Oh, is that just
just every
a
so
general?
often.
Got it. Okay, no worries. Just wondering. Didn't know. But,
Didn't have to put me on blast like that. Wow.
Well, I was worried. I was worried I was out of sync with you. You just got excited, and I didn't see anything. I mean, I'm the play-by-play caster. I get overly excited when nothing happens. Don't you know how our roles work? God, 7 to 9.
I'll revert back to grey boring for the rest of the map.
Thank you very much. I appreciate that. And something that's not boring is this mid-take coming out from NIP. 3 players just powered down middle, and no one was facing this. So they've just kind of taken the space, backed away, and gone, that's a bit weird.
You see now, JD's still aware of that. Again, based off that information, they can swing back, but Existence gives away a bit of a sloppy peek there. Magoo going to capitalize on that one. So Futbolist will find entry here on A site. Keep an eye on the minimap, because Korea getting to where he's at means that NIP can do what they're doing, which is stack 3 on A site. Again, that early mid control, the camera's down, the trap wire's down. They're going to have all this information. They know that they can sit here and wait Futbolist out. That's the camera I was talking about. Chihuahua capitalizing off that mid aggression early on. That's what you want to see your Cypher doing, not necessarily just using all that utility for site control. It's the early information, this rotation that they're going to benefit from.
Oh, it's going to be huge. I mean, this used a little bit later in this round. Now after that coming in, yeah, there you go. 2 players now noted. Korea gets one. Oh, Korea, so snappy. The man's now got the bomb under wraps. He's just going to lock that one out. That spike is not going to be held back in. He even goes for a bit more. The man's feeling a little frisky.
Love it.
Falls away finally, but by now, look at this, still buying time. That Cypher's so isolated. Sasuke breaks back in, and there's still danger to be had, but Rhymes having none of it.
10 seconds left.
Yep, 1 man left now for Futbolist. Rhyme cleans it up. Again, by the time they were able to retrieve that spike after Korea picks up 2, it's 13 seconds left, so they have to run it down C long. They have to. And NIP find a 10th now, 10-7 on Haven here, and Nip looking really, really good. The way they're able to swing back onto either side. I'm talking about A and C here after that mid-aggression. Again, I talked about it being unforgiving, but a team that's able to capitalize on that map control the way that NIP have done, it makes it so difficult for Futbolists to put anything together.
Yeah, no, I 100% get that. Tactical pause coming out for Futbolists this time. Probably a good time to do it. You win the pistol. The run of 3 comes in on the gun rounds. This is where you need to find a bit of an answer to what NIP have been doing to you. Rhyme's certainly having a great game, and again, this is something I like to see is kind of having your heavy hitters doing their job. It's very much a role thing, and seeing them doing well. Korea having a good performance here too, excellent. But beyond that, NIP have been playing a nice CT or defensive sided game, if I'm honest. I feel like they've been quite proactive in moments. I like how they do it. I liked what we saw in that previous with that mid-aggression, just to facilitate that camera positioning for that late game call. A really good read, and of course the money here, not ideal for Futbolists. They do have the ultimate to supplement though, so Magoo could do some work. But Magoo, he was such a highlight in map 1. I want that guy back.
He's been quiet. He's been quiet. It's definitely fair to say, as Futbolists now looking to aggress onto B site. Gonna get the spike down here. Magoo investing his smokes to make sure that happens. Sturban able to get back away, and this is where the plant on B becomes very difficult to deal with when you have this much mid control. Nobody from NIP really able to get out early on. So now it's going to be difficult for them because they have to retake mid first, then the site. Look at this now, Modge with the aggression, the flashes, so brutal. Korea does find the first one. Showstopper invested. That's 2 kills for NIP now, half the job done.
Yeah, but look at this, Magoo still there. The ultimate comes out. They're buying time here. I don't think that NIP can do this in the time left remaining. You can see everything. Yeah, they are buying time like champions. JD's going to do some work, sure, but time is everything. No defuse in sight. They're going to try the best they can, but it's not good enough. And the sheriff comes to town and says, no, Mark is going to keep this one under wraps. Futbolists find an answer back in a round that they probably shouldn't have.
No, absolutely. And again, the important factor there, NIP have to retake mid. They have to retake mid before they can do anything else there. And Mark being the last man standing is, you know, back to the bread and butter method, to be honest with you, where we saw Brimstone always play the ultimate, play the molly. Again, just textbook stuff there. Able to buy enough time where it literally makes the defuse impossible. Doesn't matter how many smokes you put down. Like, again, that aggression towards Garage stops the push onto window.
Okay, Korea. Yeah, that time they got tested. Finally, they got fought back on towards a long investment coming out from the breach to try and deny a quicker play coming in off the back of it, and it does allow at least a rotation to come in. But that spike isn't really committed towards this A hit just yet. They're still holding the line.
Well, yeah, Futbolist actually get that opening, and they're happy to sit back and really maybe a bit of a premature ultimate there. Yes, it stops the push, but JD's not really capitalized on any sort of ground control here. He's still tucked in sewers. Now he's looking for something towards lobby. But again, maybe just a little bit out of sync there, which, you know, for NIP is surprising considering what we've seen in the previous maps is how well timed they were with the utility and ultimate usage. Now Futbolist exploring A-long once again. And actually, this is a point now. JD, the fact that he's tucked this side of sewer could be a factor here. Does find the first. Mark will fall now, but Mod stacked up with him means that he can trade that.
Yeah, but look at Existence straight in ahead of maybe when they expected, but no. Magoo and Sturman perfectly in place, and yes, Chihuahua did a bit of damage, but by then Sasuke held the line. And another great round, and after that tactical timeout came in, this has been a perfect response, I feel, from Futbolist.
Yeah, good stuff. Just really cancelling out the ultimate usage there. Again, you know, it depends how you want to use it. Breach is a fantastic ultimate to have, obviously, to deny the plant in a retake situation. Very versatile in that side. But right there, used to obviously stop that rush onto JD. But like I said, it's weird to not see them kind of capitalize off that. JD's still in that position, but it becomes a one and done spot. Because they're stacked up, Modge and Mark gets traded out immediately. Another attack pause coming through, and again, this scoreline back to a little bit worrying if you're a NIP fan.
If you're newer to maybe FPS esports games, or if you're just kind of tuning in, as much as we've liked the look of NIP, I think all of us are a little reserved because we know they are still relatively new to this exact roster. Now, what that means is that depth is going to be somewhat lacking. I don't know how much adaptation they can go to yet. How many levels do they have to look into here? How many more looks can they bring out? I feel Kriya's been incredibly pivotal, but if he gets denied, if they work this out, it gets trickier. Maybe that mid answer is going to come out again. It looks like they're at least sending 2 players down middle. That keeps them safe. It bouncing just a little bit beyond, so they should be somewhat okay there. And they're going to post up Rhyme, it looks like, this time. So a little bit of a switcheroo.
Yeah, Rhyme getting into that rabbit cubby outside B. Usually means somebody can swing away from holding on to sight. Actually, now they go hunting down mid here. Rhyme all the way down to 5 HP. Does get traded out by Sasuke. Kriya a little bit lagging behind on the trade, but finds the kill in window now. JD investing the Hunter's Fury all the way back over towards. Does get the tag, but no kill comes through. Mark expecting a little bit of a push back, but doesn't find anything just yet. Numbers advantage for NIP, so they just need to sit and hold it. And they need to force the plant out. Again, wait for Futbolist to make a move. The drone gonna actually tag to our Spectre in hand. Doesn't want to swing on that one.
Nah, didn't fancy it. Timing gonna give away at least to Sasuke Existence that he needs to be well and truly ready for what's coming his way. Needs to be careful here. Very aware of the kind of short push coming in from A. He seems almost overly committed. Just like classic coming out. Still finds it. What?
Okay. They had absolutely no business holding on to A side with a classic there. Existence, the last man. Well, I'd say the last man standing, actually the only man on A site there, but stays alive long enough and still finds the kill. That's a big round for Futbolist to fumble. I'm not going to lie. Because look at the money now. Look at the money. Look at the ultimates. Look at the round score.
But the answer there felt scary. The answer that came out from NIP was to fight mid, which I feel it's a coin toss. I mean, you can have faith in your players, but it's scary. Oh, is Magoo going to go for a fight on towards Korea here? This is going to be an early one, and it's a deadly one too. Magoo going to find Korea, who's been the game changer for NIP. Now, this could be 10 on the board for Futbolist. If they go off the back of this, there's still players present though. Chihuahua's there, Ryan's there. The absolute bloodbath begins towards Garage.
Last player
And that
standing.
flash completely negated by Chihuahua's positioning. Neural theft comes through. Magoo, operator in hand, camera to deal with, drone to deal with. The swing comes through. He finds Chihuahua. Now, again, definitely not out of the realms of possibility, but look at the minimap. Look who's found their way all the way into the attacker's spawn here. Spike down in Garage. It's rough. It's rough. He's got to find another kill quickly to get out of this position.
Yeah, none of these kills are quick pickups either. They're all tradable so far. Gonna be a little cautious on that. Yeah. Easy now. Magoo still trying to work forward. The barrel will give it away soon enough.
Yeah.
And Rhyme, very well played. This was, they got a pick. I don't mind the explosive start off the back of it, but it
Match
felt a little
point.
haphazard. It felt just run in and hope there's no one in Garage.
I think with that aggression from Korea, maybe they've read into that. You know, when Korea does this, you know, they pivot back over towards the other side. But Rhyme and Chihuahua just holding the line in Garage there. And those first 2 kills for NIP in response to the first blood are absolutely huge. Absolutely huge. Because again, you know, you could say any other team would expect, you know, they get that pick on C Long. Maybe there's 2 players stacked up and, you know, they're going to rush C Long. But nobody really giving anything away here. Magoo does find first blood once again. Showstopper doesn't find anything from Rhyme. Korea now posted with an operator on A long. This is do or die now for Futbolist. And Ninjas Pajamas find themselves on map point here. I'm going to be honest, they've looked in control of the defensive side. Really, really in control.
I feel like to me they found answers, and that to me is such a great indicator for this team in the long run, is that they found answers, because Futbolists have really had quite a nice approach. It hasn't been bad at all. However, NIP finding creative answers, those mid pushes, this time unable to do this. Very deep hold coming out this time. You can see Existence all the way tucked in deep towards the back of B. And it looks like a B hit's going to be coming through. At least those smokes indicate something towards that end. Already Moshe's found Chihuahua. Sasuke towards Rhyme. And now it's going to be Existence. Back to the wall. Comes out swinging with 2. Flash goes in. He wants more. He's going to get more. That's 3. The man's putting on a clinic right now. Where's the rest of his team, though? Omen just about makes it. Korea comes over. Smoke goes up, and he's got the op. He's got to hold the line. If that defuse wants to come through, Korea has to change the game. But that ultimate isn't in the wall in front of him. It's pretty far behind. Another smoke comes in. He's trying to buy the time to allow that defuse to once again come in. They draw the defuse out. They've got the pick on Moj, but the timing's going to be a huge factor. Sasuke's still standing. He has to save the day for Footballer, but now down to the 1v1. Timing is everything, and the timing has dwindled away. Well played, Sasuke, but Existence almost did that himself.
Clutch.
Fantastic stuff there on both sides of the board, to be honest with you. Like you said, Existence just putting in work for NIP. Sasuke playing so deep with the Hunter's Fury, able to run the clock down there, and I love the little bait peek. The little bait peek just to get him off the spike there. Really, really good stuff. Not out of it just yet. 12-10 now. Again, economically not looking great for NIP, but they are on map point, which means they have got the opportunity to just buy this out until it ends.
Yeah, I mean, that last round technically should have been way cleaner for Futbolist, but I mean, when you have Existence doing that, no worries. For now, though, that's going to be a confidence booster for sure towards NIP, even with the round lost. You see your captain pull that off, you're like, all right, well, I guess we gotta do a bit better here. JD, though, going to try and find some information down on towards A-Long. Not too much to garner from it, a little bit, but you're going to see a commitment of touches of utility here and there. Magoo going to give away a bit of the game. You can see more utility committed now. They have 3 players ready to fight this for the first time in IP.
Indeed, and again, after the early utility shown, the important thing is Rhyme's not giving himself away here, so it's only 2 lots of utility. So Futbolist, again, maybe trying to react off this information. They're calling out 2 members on A. Rhymes there to kind of play a cheeky spot and hide it out. Now you can see actually Futbolist looking to explore back towards B there. The ultimate from Korea. Was that from Korea? It was, yeah. Must have been from Korea. Cancelled out on C long, but here we go. As I said, Futbolist now back over towards B side.
30 seconds left.
They can split towards A, it looks like. It looks like the kind of 2-3 wrap, but it does mean there's still a fight to be had. Yeah, but there's awareness here. They still haven't quite broken through, and timing's going to be everything. Moj is still going to work their way in. Yeah, you go. You're going to see it right now.
Oh.
Existence knows this. He knows
Last
everything
player
you're doing.
standing.
He is living in your heads rent-free. And right now, NIP are on the verge of closing
10
this one out.
seconds left.
Just one man marking their way. And a 1v3 is unlikely as it seems. 5 seconds left. NIP
Defenders
close
win.
it out. We have more maps awaiting, though. NIP do take it a 2-1 for now.